Hi, this is Roy Worley. Welcome to the interview show that brings on guests from all walks of life. Yeah, it's here that they tell their stories and delve a little deeper into their lives to see what got them where they are. So grab a drink, have a seat, and relax, because this is the Leo Effect.
When was the last time a short movie shook your emotions to the core? When was the last time a short movie caused you to rethink everything you stood for? When was the last time a short movie made you proud to be an American? When was the last time you felt the emotion to stand up and cheer after a short movie? The new short movie, I've Got Your Six, written and directed by Bill Foster, one of the industry's newest and fastest climbing directors, will answer all of those questions. Rarely has there been so much packed into a short movie that when you leave, you'll feel more proud of our American military veterans. A movie that was cast only with American military veterans will have you on the edge of your seat, cheering for our veterans and what makes America great. I've Got Your Six will be hitting the film festival scene soon. Be prepared to drop what you're doing and go see this powerful movie when it comes to your area. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Leo Effect. Today, I'm joined by a special guest. He does some pretty interesting things, in my opinion, and I hope that you go and check out his social medias and find out what all this is about. But, of course, we're going to have him talk about it, too. But please allow me to welcome to the show Russell Rapp, or Russell Lord Byron Rapp, I guess, would be the full title, yeah?
You can call me Russell Rapp.
Well, where did the Lord Byron come from?
Lord Byron. Byron is my middle name, and Lord Byron came from a nickname I got with my friends because Lord Byron was like a 17th century poet, romantic poet, and I'm known as like a ladies' man with my friends, so they nicknamed me Lord Byron.
Nice. All right. Well, I get you. I got you now. So, we talked a little bit before when we were first introduced about what it is that you're trying to do and everything, and I definitely want to talk about that. So, the first thing that I want to ask is what brings you to the show today? What is it that you do?
Well, Steve Joyner started talking to me about all these podcasts and stuff, and he lined up several interviews, more than several, a lot of interviews, and that brings me to meet you, and I'm here because I'm promoting my independent feature film called Power Child.
Right, and Power Child, we're going to talk about that for sure. From what you had kind of told me, like the log line and the synopsis, it sounds like an amazing movie. But kind of talking about you a little bit first would be what made you decide to go into being a director, to wanting to make movies?
I've always had a passion for movies ever since I started watching movies. I was like 8 or 9, and I just started watching TV and movies, and I was really interested in movies. And I took a class senior year of high school. It was like a film history class, and I thought, well, hey, that's like a cool thing to get into. So when I went to college, I majored in filmmaking. I went to University of the Arts in Philly for 2 years, and then I transferred to Montclair State, and I graduated from Montclair with my BFA in filmmaking around 2012. And during this whole time, I was making short videos, music videos, short films, stuff like that. So I built up a resume on YouTube, a portfolio. And right now I'm at like 102, 103 videos on one channel. Just type in Russell Rapp, my full name, you'll find those videos. And also there's a channel, there's a second channel called Lord Byron's Metro Trails Experience. That's my hiking show. It's like a reality comedy miniseries about hikers that hike around the whole tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and the guy who leads the hikes, Mike, he's a character. He's ridiculous, and he's really, really funny. So I started recording those hikes, and then I put together like 6-season, 60-video miniseries on YouTube. And then I started a page on Facebook for it and put all the videos on that. And you'll be surprised at how many hiking groups there are on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, I tagged all the hiking groups I could in that. I started getting a lot of views on Facebook. And I want to do another few seasons as soon as it gets warmer, like springtime, summertime. So I'm going to start doing that more. And then, so I wanted to see how well I could do a feature. And I had several ideas for features. So I just wrote a feature. It was like around 80 pages. That's how long Power Child is. And completely original ideas. And so back in 2018, I wrote the first draft of the script. And then 2019, I went over it like 7 or 8 times. I hired a ghostwriter to look at it for me. He revised it. And then 2019, I came up with a final draft.
Wow.
And then I started sending it out to filmmakers and actors on Facebook. And this whole project has mostly been on Facebook just to promote everything. I started a page for my business. My business is Broken Bolt Productions, LLC. And I started that page on Facebook. And most of it's all Power Child stuff. So you can go to that page and look at behind-the-scenes photos, behind-the-scenes videos, on-set photos, locations. I found a location near me. There's a farm. It took a year to get into that location. And then I found a junkyard for another scene. That took another year to get in there. So we shot last August. We shot all week, so we have a lot of footage. We're still going over the footage and editing.
Okay.
Trying to put together a trailer and several scenes. And we're shooting again this summer. And right now it's starting to pick up some traffic. So right now, if I come up with a budget, then I can get through the process faster, and it'll be a lot easier with the budget. So that's what I'm working on now.
Okay, I gotcha. What was the inspiration behind the movie?
Power Child, I wrote down, and I have a diary. I wrote that idea down a long time ago. And just some characteristics about the movie. It was going to be, there was going to be telekinesis, levitation, different sort of things that bring the title to life. And the main character, he uses his telekinesis to move things around like books. There's a scene in the beginning where he's reading a book and he's moving these books around with his hands. And he's supposed to be like a boy genius. So that was the original idea.
Nice. Okay. That's cool. And this is meant to be a modern day setting?
Yeah.
Right on. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going for like a sci-fi theme or like more of a thriller?
No, it's a thriller. It's a psychological thriller.
Okay. All right. And is that a preferred genre of yours, or is that just what you wanted to do for this movie?
Well, that's just what I wanted to do for this movie. I put together a horror, my first short film, like 25 minutes, half hour short films called Jersey Devil. That was a horror movie that I did. It was like a senior thesis project for college.
Oh, okay.
Horror was like what I started out with, and this one is like psychological thriller. I wouldn't call it a horror because it's like it's not like gory or anything or bloody. So there's some scenes where it gets a little gory, but I guess it depends on how you look at it.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's cool. And if you could have had like any actor or actress at all be in the movie, who do you think you would have just said, yeah, you're going to be in it?
Oh, I love that question. I wanted Macaulay Culkin to play the main character in this movie. And, I wanted him because I want to see him in more stuff, and I haven't seen him in anything. And I think if he started getting out there and start to do stuff again, I think people would really like that, because he's known as his childhood acting. And I think I've seen Monster before, so he acted in Monster, but that was years ago. That was like over 10 years ago. So I would pick him for the main character, and I think even I forget his name. He was in Breakfast Club. He was like the nerd in Breakfast Club.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah, I wanted him to play the role as the father.
Oh,
so
cool.
Those two actors, I wanted to kind of work together. But I mean, if this goes according to plan, if this project sells to a studio or a distributor, I already have a distributor, so I just need to make the whole thing. If they buy it, they can do whatever they want with it, and they can remake it if they want. And if they really want to, they can remake it and have Macaulay Culkin, Anthony Michael Hall in there if they want to. So
that would be pretty cool. That'd be a pretty good idea. So you've got this going on and everything. Do you have anything else that's kind of like in the backgrounds that you thought of while doing this, or do you just kind of alter the story?
There's another script I'm working on. It's another feature. It's a sci-fi. I want it to be like a space epic. So that's one idea I have that I'm still writing. Couple more short videos. Like I like to do May the 4th be with you. So with Star Wars. So like a couple years ago, I did a May the 4th video. It was a Heads in Space, kind of like using Star Wars footage from YouTube and sound effects and stuff. And I had me and a friend of mine do green heads. So I put our heads, composited our heads into the footage of Star Wars, and we were just like freaking out. So it's kind of like a comedy.
Nice.
This year I have another idea for May the 4th. I want to do like a lightsaber battle. My apartment's like a studio apartment, so I use my apartment for videos like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a fog machine, so I was just going to fog out the whole apartment at night and just have the lightsabers on and just a battle with those. I think that might look cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. When you started doing all this and you're going to college for filmmaking and coming up with your idea for Power Child and everything, did you have a lot of support, like from friends and family, or did everybody think you were kind of crazy?
My friends supported me. Several of my friends supported me. My family never supported me, ever. Never, ever, ever. And that kind of sucks in a way, but they probably always thought I was crazy. I'm not going to go into detail about why my family doesn't support me, but that's for another time.
Right, that's fair. Okay, that's cool. Well, you sound like you've had a fair amount of practice with this. I mean, with the YouTube videos, and you've been doing some filming with Power Child and everything. So what would your advice be to someone who's just like they're following the same tracks as you, but they know nothing? What would your advice be to them?
My advice to them would be never give up. Never give up. Never stop trying. Keep dreaming. Continue dreaming, because I've talked to a couple people who are also like into film, like not creating or writing or anything like that, but they just are film fans. You know, there's so many film fans out there that just love watching movies. And one of the things they said to me was, these filmmakers that go out there and do stuff and make stuff, even though it's not much attention they're getting, if they continue doing it, eventually people will start to get interested and start to become aware of what they're doing. So just, that's my advice. Just never give up, never stop trying, keep dreaming. And you're going to get a lot of haters out there. Like almost all of them are going to be haters, but try not to let that get to you.
Gotcha. That's some pretty solid advice, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know, they give up when the going gets hard. So that's really good advice.
Yeah, I the going has gotten hard for me multiple times. Many, many, many times it's gotten hard, but I've always just kept thinking about it. I don't know why. It's just something that makes me curious, and it keeps my imagination going. And I've been in some really low places, and even in those low places, I've came up with the best ideas I've ever had in those low places. So,
right on, man.
It just kept coming at me for some reason. I don't know why, but these ideas keep coming.
Cool. And that's great that you had that perseverance. That shows it's a testament to your character. And
Thank you.
so what point are you at? You said you're working on getting a budget and things like that. So what is it that the listeners could do to help you out with that?
Well, first off, I'd like to say I do have a distributor who's already involved in the project.
Right.
I have a producer who I met just last week who wants to help me raise a budget for Power Child. He's done $1 million budgets. He's done $70,000 budgets. So he's worked on big budget films. My budget is $50K. So I told him that, and he said that's no problem. He's like, let me take care of that. I can handle that for you.
Cool.
But talking to him more and stuff like that. But if every little bit helps. So if anyone wants to contact me on Facebook or send me a message on Facebook, or if they want to donate, whatever, that's totally fine too.
Awesome. And that brings me to my next part, which would be to have you tell the listeners where to find you on social media, like what to type in and search to find, the movie, you specifically, things like that.
The best place to find me is on Facebook. Facebook has everything that's going on with the movie. The movie page is under my business. It's Broken Bolt Productions, LLC. And that's where you can find everything about Power Child, poster art, synopsis, people involved, behind-the-scenes photos, sunset photos, stuff like that. And if you want to talk to me, you can always just friend request me or message me on Messenger for Facebook.
All right.
And my name's Russell Lord Byron Rapp on Facebook.
Awesome. That's perfect. And I'll put a link to that stuff in the description of the podcast as well, so that everybody can just click the link and be off and on their way. So we'll get people directed your way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ray.
So my final question would be, because you said it a couple times now, and it kind of has me wondering, where'd you come up with the name for your business?
The name for my business? The name for my business, Broken Bold, it just sounded right to me. I started the business back in 2015, so Broken Bold was like it just seems like a cool name to me, and I thought it could be used for like intros, like business intros for my videos.
Gotcha.
So I got creative with it, and right now the intro is like slow motion of a light bulb on the ground, and you just see someone walking towards the light bulb, and this giant shoe like steps on the bulb and smashes it, and that's the intro right now. So I'm planning on redoing that. There's so many different ways you could do Broken Bulb. Like I did one time, I had a bat and I threw a light bulb in the air, and then I hit it with the bat and it exploded. So there's different things you can do with that.
Yeah. Now I see where you're going with that. That's actually a really good idea. Nice.
Yeah. I have a sign for the back of my car. It hasn't really gotten me any gigs or anything, but it's my business, so it's really like, if it's on the back of my car, it's like everywhere I drive, you're gonna see. So it's like a mobile advertisement.
Right. Yeah, and that's smart thinking too. Got to get that name out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So with these last few minutes here, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the show and telling me about Power Child and letting me know that, and the listeners know that there's things coming up soon there's things in the works,
Mhm.
and it sounds awesome. And you've been a great guest. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So remember, everybody, go check on the links. Go to Facebook, like, subscribe, click, do whatever you need to do to get the information. And don't forget, I'll put the links in the bottom of in the description of the podcast. So that one-click shopping, people. It can't be any easier than that. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you all next time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, creatures of all ages, what an amazing show. Thank you for lending an ear and joining us. I'm the host, Ray Rumsey, and if you want to hear more interviews, simply head to anywhere podcasts are heard, Facebook or Twitter, and search The Leo Effects, with an A, not an E. If you'd like to hear me doing silly voices and making a general fool of myself, head over to Shattered Dungeons on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We live stream every Tuesday night. More projects are in the works. For now, stay tuned for more interviews. To book yourself as a guest, you can head to theleoeffects.wixsite.com/podcast or send me an email at theleoeffects@gmail.com. Remember, this has been The Leo Effects, and great shows require great listeners, just like you. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.